Alright, howdy guys. This game is called No Tears for Heroes. So it's like a interactive quiz game, and it's about World War II. And I was kind of curious about it because it was on sale for like $1. So it's not your typical game, but I don't play typical games either. So we're gonna try it out. I'm very curious to see how it plays and see if I can actually test my own knowledge of World War II. So let's go ahead and try it out. During World War II, what unusual food item did the Finnish soldiers use as an improvised explosive against Soviet tanks because it worked surprisingly well in the freezing temperatures? Um, honestly, okay, so we have chocolate bars, frozen coffee grounds, vodka bottles, and frozen logs of butter. So, honestly, I would assume it's butter because it could be molded, but so could chocolate if you heat it. Coffee grounds, vodka bottles. Well, I mean, improvised explosive. I mean, if you're using vodka bottles, you could use those as a Molotov, but I don't think the Finnish ever used Molotovs when they were fighting the Russians. You know what? I'm gonna go with vodka bottles just as a guess. Okay, so we're not right on that. So technically, my first option was gonna be I really wanted logs of butter, but it just didn't seem right in theory. And then vodka bottles, I just assumed like Molotovs, but let's try butter. Okay, this wasn't butter. Um, okay, coffee grounds. Let's think about this. Chocolate bars. Hmm. Try wow, chocolate bars? Holy crap. Okay. The famous Battle of the Bulge, Germany's last major offensive attack on the Western Front, began in which month of 1994? It wasn't, I can tell you it wasn't December or October. Mm, I want to say it was probably, well, actually, it would have been December, I believe. Yeah. During World War II, the British had a secret weapon for their spies that looked exactly like what everyday item? Cigarette boxes, dead rats, tea bags, shoe polish tins. Okay, these are kind of obscure questions, honestly. Let's see. I'm just throwing guesses out here, guys. I honestly don't know, but this is actually a good learning experience. So, I know the Germans like to smoke a lot, just as much as the Americans. I assume the British did too. Dead rats. I guess, I mean, I assume if you're a spy, you're hiding something, right? you're you're hiding information. So I would assume shoe polish tins. But then again, someone sees a rat. Plus, it's the fucking picture on the top. So let's try fucking. Dur. All right. The Battle of Stalingrad was a turning point in World War II. How did Soviet forces use the city's unique layout to their advantage against the Germans? Um. Okay, so the answers are they hid in the sewers to surprise attack. They fought building to building, floor to floor. They used the Volga River to bring in supplies. Well, I know they went building to building when they were actually in Berlin. They were hunting down most of the Nazis and some of the Wehrmacht. Uh, I would assume that they did anything and everything. So all the above. During the bombing of Britain in World War II, which famous London landmark was deliberately protected by German bomber pilots, creating a navigation point that helped them find other targets? Well, I would say it would be probably St. Paul's Cathedral. I love how it's showing the pictures. Like, I mean, during the Christmas of 1944, which remarkable event happened between American and German soldiers during the Battle of the Bulge? Okay, well, No Man's Land is obviously out. That's World War One. Traded chocolate for cigarettes. I think POWs did trade stuff, and American GIs did trade things, but I think it was it was captured POWs. I'm gonna say they sang Christmas carols. What bizarre psychological warfare tactic did British intelligence use to try to weaken German U-boat morale? Um, okay, they painted fishing boats like battleships. No. I guess floated. No. Okay. So, okay, spread rumors about sea monsters. That's kind of odd. Okay, whatever. What unusual but effective tactic did the U.S. Navy meteorologists suggest to help shoot down Japanese planes more accurately? Study cloud formations, track bird migration patterns, coconuts as radar reflectors. Hmm. Well, we assume unusual. Studied cloud formations. I don't see how that would be helpful. They use coconuts as radar reflectors. Hmm. Okay. That was going to be honestly my first guess, but it said unusual, so I was thinking. What determined Soviet sniper Lyudmila Pavlichenko's unusual choice of prey during her legendary career as one of World War II's deadliest snipers? Oh, what? So who did she pick to shoot? Okay. Uh, she only shot officers wearing caps. She only targeted snipers. She always aimed for radio operators. She only shot soldiers over 6 feet. Okay, so obviously, if you're a sniper, you're gonna want to take the officer out because that's a morale. Like you're killing morale if officers are getting shot. Obviously, you're gonna target other snipers. I mean, if it's just a given, enemy snipers, but the one that stands out to me would be either radio operators or soldiers over 6 feet tall. I guess they would make easy targets. Okay. So I'm gonna say officers just because. Okay, what's wrong on that? She only targeted snipers. Okay, it's interesting. Which of these countries was known as the Sleeping Giant? Of course, the United States. During World War II, what dramatic event happened to Italy in 1943 that changed which side they were fighting for? I was gonna say that no. Well, I mean, okay, all right. During World War II, what bizarre weapon did the Americans consider using against Japanese forces? Say bats carrying tiny bombs. Who was the German commander nicknamed Desert? Oh, that's fucking Rommel. What was the famous German tank called that was so powerful? Of course, the German Tiger tank. Duh. During the German occupation of Paris, how did the French resistance secretly annoy German soldiers at the Eiffel Tower? They painted it invisible at night. They changed all the signs to the wrong directions. Was my first thought. Cut the elevator cables, of course. Which Spanish soldier survived a bombing, earned official military rank, and received 3 medals despite being a stray dog? During World War II, what clever trick did British spies use to fool German intelligence about their diet and food shortages? Say they'd set fake grocery lists? No. Carrots never know. Huh. During World War II, what unlikely friendship formed between American fighter pilots and a group of animals in the Pacific? Well, I don't think it would be kangaroos. I don't think it would be dolphins. I'm gonna say local dogs. No. Shared coconuts with monkeys. Which famous World War II submachine gun was nicknamed the Grease Gun by American soldiers because it looked like a garage tool? No. The Grease Gun, yeah, that's right. Which event is considered the official start of World War II in Europe? The invasion of Poland. Congrats, you have now unlocked the movie No Tears for Heroes. You can access it from the main menu. Okay, well, this is a mini movie, guys, so I hope you enjoy it.
They told us we'd be heroes, that glory awaited in these muddy trenches. But there is no glory in watching your friend's last breath fog up the morning air, no honor in the way his letters to home scatter in the wind, ink running with rain and blood. We are all sons of different mothers, speaking different tongues, dying in the same mud. Our medals shine like fool's gold, heavy with the weight of lives we've taken. At night, when the guns fall silent, I hear the enemy singing. They sound just like us, young, afraid, far from home. They never told us how war smells of burnt coffee and rotting dreams, how victory tastes like ash in your mouth, how the medals they pin on our chests can't shield our hearts from breaking. The cold seeps through our bones like death's whisper. We fight 2 wars now, one against men, one against winter. Our fingers freeze around rifle triggers, dreams of home crystallizing in the bitter air. At night, the darkness and frost conspire, turning minutes into eternities. Fear tastes different in winter. It freezes in your throat like metal. We huddle together, enemies and allies alike, all seeking warmth that never comes. The snow doesn't care which side we're on. It buries us all the same, turning battlefields into graveyards of white. They say hell burns, but we found it here in the ice. Each breath is a small victory, a cloud of life that fades too quickly. We count the hours by heartbeats, each one slower than the last. Some nights the cold claims more of us than bullets ever could.
In fields of white, they dream in red. Of mother's garden, roses spread. Their rifles rest like broken toys, while memories dance of schoolyard boys. Through frozen lids, they see the spring. bells ring. Their blood melts snow in crimson streams, while far from home they drift in dreams of Sunday pies on windowsills, of lovers' walks on summer hills. Each fallen soldier, cold and still, dreams back to life beyond the kill. Their medals freeze against their chest, as childhood prayers grant final rest. In death they're boys again, who run through meadows bright with morning sun.
They never tell you what fear really is until you're here. Not in books, not in training, not in the speeches of old men who send young ones to die. Fear isn't just in your heart. It lives in your bones, crawls under your skin, becomes the air you breathe. I've seen the best of men break, and the weakest find strength they never knew. War strips away everything until you're nothing but raw instinct and racing thoughts. We're all animals in the end, fighting for one more sunrise, one more breath of frozen air. To those back home, you'll pin medals on coffins, name streets after battles, build monuments to victory, but you'll forget our faces, our dreams, the way we died in this God-forsaken snow. You'll forget how young we were, how we cried for our mothers in the dark. History will remember the generals, the dates, the strategic advances, but who will remember the letters we couldn't finish writing, the promises we couldn't keep? War makes brothers of enemies and strangers of friends. We kill men we might have shared bread with in another life. And for what? Lines on maps, words in treaties, pride of men who'll never know the weight of a rifle or the sound of a friend's last words.
Through December, frost above 44, they sink in snow and dream once more of Christmas trees and crackling fires, while tank tracks crush the heavenly spires. Each flake that falls brings memories near, mother's hands, father's hunting gear, sister's ribbon in autumn light, all fading in this endless night. The mortars sing their lullaby as frozen tears refuse to dry. In foxholes, deep as unmarked graves, young soldiers dream of summer days. Their coffee's frozen in their cups, like time itself has given up. Yet in their dreams, they're warm again, before they knew the ways of men.
Remember me not as a hero. Heroes don't exist here, but as a boy who learned too late that humanity's greatest enemy is itself. In these frozen fields, we are all the same flesh and blood, all carrying photos of loved ones, all dreaming of home. We kill each other for ideals that seem hollow in the face of death, for borders that mean nothing to the crows that feast on both sides equally. They'll say we died for honor, for country, for freedom. But here in my last moments, I die understanding a darker truth. We die because humans never learned to see themselves in the eyes of their enemies. Because pride and power mean more than the lives of sons and brothers. Because somewhere in comfortable rooms far from here, men in pressed uniforms decided our lives were currency they could spend. When spring comes and melts the snow, let my blood nourish flowers instead of hate. Let those who find my body know that I died not hating my enemy, but hating what turns men into enemies. This is my last letter home, written not in ink, but in the fading warmth of my breath against the winter air.
Wow, that was bravo for Buck. That, yeah, love it. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this, guys, just for something. Support the developers, because this is awesome. Take care.